Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Tuesday. We're just getting over to our Garcia property. We told you guys we were gonna have to do some repairs for the buyers. We just got word that the insurance company is requiring, before they bind their policy, that some of the trees and shrubs and things get cut back that are directly touching the roof. It's common. It's something we actually put in our repair addendum, that if the insurance came back requesting that, we would then take care of it. I'm actually meeting one of my crews over here. We're supposed to have that ETA storm here lashing us right now, but as my prediction was correct, I think it's heading more towards Louisiana now. But anyways, we're here. We're also doing some drywall removal in the kitchen. We're just doing a little bit of a repair. We're making sure just some mold gets removed out of here. And I'm gonna be running over to another property around the corner. I'll bring you guys along as we do a little repair checkup and see if everything got knocked out there. We would take the cabinets out, we would take the drywall out about 4 feet down. That would all get replaced, of course, after we scrub the studs and other parts of the wall with a certain type of material or a chemical that you can go buy at Home Depot or Lowe's. And then we put it back together. Let's keep moving. We are doing a repair check-in. We're just wanting to make sure, since we are a week away from closing, that our repairs got knocked out and that we're able to give the okay to our staging company so that they can get in here and get all the staging removed in time. Usually they need about a week lead time to get a place staged and to get staging removed. I just wanted to take some pictures. We actually went, I'm not gonna say above and beyond in terms of the repairs we did here, but they did send us a list that was very minor. I believe there was only 2 or 3 items on there, and I was able to see the inspection report. You can go through it myself and look and determine, okay, should these items had already been corrected or been done during some of the work that was getting done here. So there were a couple other items. So we actually doubled, if not tripled, that list of items that we were gonna have get corrected, because I knew it wasn't gonna be a lot of out of pocket, since some of our guys should have already knocked some of this out. And what I have here, the actual list. We had a light cover that was missing in a bedroom. Also, there was a leak under one of the bathroom sinks. That was something they actually did not ask for. And it's probably because, listen, at the end of the day, if you got a leak under a sink, you probably just need to tighten something up. We'll give it a second, see if a leak starts. We're actually gonna come into the other bathroom and do the same thing. And both of these bathrooms, we actually did not touch the vanities. We hardly touched anything in these bathrooms. Doing some courtesy flushes on toilets before closings is helpful too. I don't know if you guys are familiar with looking at toilets after a week or up to a month of not being used, but they just get so damn dirty. All right, so we got no leak there. That accordion style of P-trap design normally gets called out by inspectors just because stuff can get caught in there. You can see it's even a little lopsided. It's not straight, so it just makes it easy for hair, gunk, anything to get caught in there and start accruing. Something to take note of. Bedroom door latch not working correctly. So bedroom door latch not correctly working. Well, guess what? That's something we'll just quickly have taken care of. We had all brand new 2-panel doors installed throughout the house, interior doors. We're latching. Hello. All right, that's one of my rehabbers needing to meet me over at the property that you guys saw in the last vlog, the one that we just took ownership of in Lake Sarasota. Light bulbs in the guest bath, so we got all those bulbs replaced. Let's see, GFI outlets. Keep walking back and forth in here. So we got GFI outlets, a junction box getting covered up, but I'm not gonna be able to test that because I do not plan to get into attic. Let's see here. So we got our solid core door, exterior outlet, open ground, replaced with covered GFI, and exterior light by electric panel. So we're good to go. We're gonna get rolling. I gotta get over there to meet my guy at that property so we can do our proper walkthrough and talk about the work that we're gonna wanna get done there. So, see you over there. Hey, I know them. All right, so we're just wrapping up over here at Lake Sarasota. I showed up, not much to show you guys. We were just here a couple days ago as one of my contractors was here giving us the bid, and I showed you guys this property. As you guys can see, I was just up on the roof with one of my guys. We were checking out the top of that roof because my roofer told me a couple weeks back when we were originally getting a lot of quotes on this property, he told us he would not give it 5 years of life. So typically you need that 3 to 5 years of life on the roof to get the insurance bound and put in place. And we're talking about insurance again, just like those trees at the last property at Garcia. But anyways, over here, I wanted to check out the roof myself, get up there and just see, you know, what it is that's making him say we need to replace that roof. I couldn't really see it. I did see a few spots where some of the granules were worn down and you were starting to see the black under the shingle layer. But overall, it's a roof that what I will recommend to my partner and what I'm pretty confident we will do at this point, knowing what I know now, is that we're probably gonna wait and hold off and just see what happens when we put this property on the market and we get a contract and we have the inspection happen. Because what's gonna happen is this inspector is gonna pull up the county website and he's gonna say what permits got pulled on this property. And they're gonna see a permit for that air conditioner. They're also gonna see a permit for the roof. And the roof got done, I'm going off the top of my head right now, but I wanna say the roof is 12 years old. It was 2008, I believe. And I remember that because I asked my roofer when he said he recommends replacing, I said, well, it's only a 12-year-old roof. And I understand that in Florida that this sun beats down on our roofs, whether you got trees over top of your property or not. The sun destroys our roofs here in Florida, and a lot of roofs are really on average 15 to 20 years the lifespan you're gonna get out of them. Probably less if you got trees, oak trees towering over them. But either way, an inspector is gonna see that we're at 12 years of life, and they might call out a few shingles and spots, but I don't think it's a roof that they would say it needs to be completely replaced. And I get it, that new roof's gonna help us achieve that higher sale price, but I would think not by much. I would think maybe it would add $5,000 of value onto this property on that top retail value that we're gonna end up getting for it. So that's what we're gonna do on this one. I'm calling it right now. We're probably gonna just wait. We're gonna see what happens with the roof during inspection and see if we actually can save the $9,000, $10,000 it would end up costing us to go about replacing this one. By the time you guys are watching this video, it's already been determined that Biden is our new president. We're not out of legal lawsuits, that sort of thing, but obviously there's a big shift going on right now in our economy, and we don't know what that means for real estate. So there's gonna be more to come on that. It will be an interesting next year. I've heard a lot of people just the past month, economists and other people talk about the real estate and the housing market and how they think it might actually not be till 2022 that we start seeing all the repercussions of this loan forgiveness and loan forbearance on mortgages. So it might be a ways before we start seeing some discounted property. So we're gonna keep chugging along, and I'll see you guys at the next one. All right, we're back, everyone. It's Thursday. We're up here at our 18th rehab. We're getting close to the finish line here. This has been a fun project to watch develop. It's gonna be an interesting one too, just because of the type of house we're dealing with and the uniqueness of the layout, the square footage, everything. A video or two ago, I was telling you guys we're gonna dodge that ETA hurricane tropical storm that was down there just south of the Keys. It looked like it was starting to veer off to the left to head up more towards the Gulf and the Louisiana area. Well, that was not the case. Yesterday, we got lashed all day long. The storm actually ended up passing just north of Tampa. So during most of the day yesterday, it was right alongside the coast. And of course, what happened with that is it created a lot of debris. We had about 60 to 70-mile-an-hour winds that were going around throughout the entire day. But I needed to stop over here at 18th and just assess the damage and just see where we're at across the board with the entire rehab behind me. So I show up and I see we've got a fence panel down, and my guess is that's from the storm and the direction the wind was blowing towards the north. You can see we got debris throughout the yard. So I am gonna be able to get my guys to come over here and at least finish cleaning this up. What we're gonna be doing is actually this fence right behind me, this long one. In Manatee County, you gotta get permits if you're doing fencing. Luckily, if you're just doing replacement fencing, you don't have to get the permit. But the fence that was back here, I hadn't talked to the neighbor. The one over here, I did talk to the neighbor, and we're actually gonna split the cost of the fence. We're gonna stick to that wood fence. The posts are on our side, so we know it was our fence. This fence, on the other hand, though, the posts face the neighbor back here, and I haven't talked to that neighbor yet. So I'm gonna go grab one of my business cards, gonna go knock on the door, talk about this fence that just fell onto our property, and see if they wanna split the cost. Because before, we were actually just gonna stagger the fence that we install right up against this one, rather than rip that down, since in reality, it's not our fence. So let's go talk to that neighbor, see what happens. Probably not gonna bring the camera and bring you guys along for that. But I did wanna run into 18th real quick here, take some quick photos of how everything's looking, and see if we're gonna be able to get this thing staged and listed next week. And that's what we're looking to do. All right, I appreciate it. All right, we are heading to our next property, and I've been wearing my hat today, especially because I got a mane growing on top of my head right now. I gotta get to the barber, so I'm not ashamed to show you guys my hair. I'm never ashamed. But we are heading over to our 10th Street property. Did just get a chance to talk to the neighbor, awesome guy. He's gonna talk to his family members about the fence that blew down and see if they wanna toss us a couple $100 to help out with the fence. We're putting the fence up anyway, so whether they said yes or no to contributing to the cost of the fence, we're gonna get it done, especially since a piece has blown over and we're all about the curb appeal right now. Regardless, just a little tip. Go around, introduce yourself to your neighbors. I waited too long to introduce myself to those neighbors. You know, I usually like to do that at the very beginning, go knock on the door of all my neighbors that are around and just say, hey, here's my card. If you see anybody messing with the property, if my crews or somebody is doing something here that you don't agree with or you don't like, or you just need to give us a call, here's my information. And you'd be amazed at how helpful that is as you do business and you're growing. You don't know when a neighbor might call the county on you for some stupid, silly reason. You don't know when you might have somebody trying to break into your house and the neighbor is able to pick up the phone and call you and let you know what they saw. And overall, I've never introduced myself to a neighbor and had a bad experience from it. It's only positive. It's only negative when you don't introduce yourself and they don't know who the heck's at the property next door. But either way, introduce yourself to your neighbors. We're pulling up to 10th already. That's how quick we are in 34205 zip code, getting from house to house up here. But we got to show the property to somebody that called off of a sign. We actually have this property listed on the MLS, but I had a sign call yesterday. The guy wants to give us an offer with a 3-day inspection, because that's all we're going to allow is a short inspection on this one. But I am arriving right now, so I'm going to turn the camera off, and then I'm going to give you guys a little quick recap on what's been going on with this property for the past couple weeks now. All right, let's keep it moving. Behind me, we're at our 10th Street property. I've shown this one to you guys a few times, and it almost seems like it's a little worse each time I come, and I don't know if that's because the people that are coming into the house are doing a little bit of investigating to see how much work the place is really going to need. But I'll tell you what, this one has been quite an experience, and this is why the day in the life of a real estate investor is never boring. We just had another contract canceled just a couple days ago. We put it active on the MLS again. So now the MLS is showing, and I want to say it's been 5 or 6 contracts. When I go look at my computer at all the previous old offers, I think I'm at a count of 7 maybe, but that's just offers, not actually executed, accepted offers. I believe we're at 5, maybe 6 for completely executed contracts that have canceled. One of them that made it the furthest along, we actually got to 1 week before closing, and it was originally supposed to be a 2-week closing. We ended up doing an extension of 2 weeks, and come to find out that extension was so the buyer could just keep doing an extra bit of research, due diligence. And after they had a contractor come out, I think they got a little scared of the numbers. They hadn't done a flip down in this area yet, so they were having to call random contractors, people they have not established relationships with. They don't have that rapport. So a couple of them came in and said, hey, you should just knock this place down. A couple of them came in, gave bids that were probably double what our original estimate and bid and scope of work was for this property. They tried to back out of the contract, and my partner, the owner of this property, the seller, would not let them back out. He said, no, you're not going to get your escrow back, because we had tenting companies set up to get this place tented. We had one of our rehab crews ready to start working on this place back when we accepted that offer. So we went 2.5, 3 weeks, and that's 2 weeks past their contingency period, and then they come to us and tell us that they're not going to close on the property, and that's not a situation that you ever want to be in. Fortunately, you know, this is a house where it's owned outright. There's not a mortgage, but it's still time, it's still money that's lost out, and we lost a lot of appointments as well by accepting a contract and then canceling all that. And tenting right now is almost scheduled out 1.5 months, 2 months. So for us to cancel that, you know, delays everything and sets us back. So luckily, the seller, he is smart enough to ask for a good deposit. And when you're dealing with properties like this that are fixer-uppers and you're dealing with cash buyers, you should be able to get a sizable deposit. So in situations like this that happens, you're not left with nothing. You know, you're not left with just a waste of time holding costs on your property. So we were able to hold on to about, I don't think, but it was around $5,000 in escrow that this person lost out by deciding to not close on the property. And that's why you always collect escrow deposits. If this property falls out of contract again, there is a good chance it's going to be making it onto our videos as a rehab, because we already know that we can get this place fixed up. We're not intimidated by it. We know it is an intimidating project, but everything is fixable. Things aren't always a knockdown. You can always fix a property. And the mosquitoes are out. Damn them. So let's keep this day rolling on. It's Thursday, so we're getting close to the end of our video week. Not the end of the week, but let's see what else we can get into. Let's see if we can go find some more properties. There's a property around the corner from where I live in a neighborhood I would love to own a house, but I'm gonna go check that one out. It just hit the market and it's a fixer-upper, so it's something that I could look at as a potential property to purchase for myself, or one that we could purchase and flip and make some money on, as it's a property that's owned in an estate and it is a fixer. So let's get over there. Let's check it out and see what we got.